Dr. Geoffrey Hallstead has been Canandaigua's hometown dentist for more than 35 years, offering routine dental care as well as cosmetic dentistry, implants, and dentures by their highly trained and experienced staff. Visit them online at canandaiguadentistry.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome to FLX Weekly here on Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. I'm Jim Sinacropi, live from the FingerLakes1.com studios in Seneca Falls, New York. And the annual Shootout for Soldiers lacrosse event's coming up at the end of this month in Canandaigua. Today I'll be joined by Dr. Geoffrey Hallstead and Mark Rodzinka to talk about the unique 24-hour event. It's raised millions of dollars for veterans nationwide, and there's a lot of unique aspects to the event. First and foremost, 24 hours straight of lacrosse from 10 a.m. on Saturday, July 27th to 10 a.m. on Sunday, July 28th. So be a lot to talk about. But first, this episode of FLX Weekly is brought to you by Blush by CV Designs. Blush by CV Designs is a local woman-owned business in the heart of the Finger Lakes, offering women's clothing and accessory, quality home goods, and unique gifts. See what everyone is talking about by visiting their location in downtown Seneca Falls or browse all their products online at shopcvdesigns.com. And also, Auburn Auto Group. When it comes to selection and service after the sale, Auburn Auto Group has been the premier destination for new and used car buyers for close to 40 years. Among the brands offered on Route 5 in Auburn include Chevrolet, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Honda, Toyota, and Subaru. Thanks to their wide range of makes and models, you're sure to find your new or used car at Auburn Auto Group. Well, I'd like to welcome to the show Dr. Geoffrey Hallstead, Mark Rodzinka, both supporters and volunteers for the Shootout for Soldiers in Canandaigua coming up July 27th and 28th. And Mark, I'll let you start, a little overview of the event.
Sure. So Shootout for Soldiers is a fundraiser that benefits American veterans locally as well as nationally. Our local sponsors are Blue Star Mothers, and Jeff will be able to speak a little more about that because he's intimately involved with that organization, as well as Honor Flight Rochester. So we have 24 hours of lacrosse, 24 one-hour games. So some people are brave. They play multiple games. Some people play one game. But it's a large event with not only lacrosse, but a festival-like atmosphere. So the big thing we want to communicate is it's not just about the lacrosse. Right. If you want to come hang out, have fun, have food, come see us.
All night long.
All night long. We'll be there.
And high school lacrosse players predominantly?
All over the board. Yeah. So we have kids, kindergarten up through people 50s, 60s, like a master's team.
So and men and women, right?
You got it. In the past, we've done boys and girls high school stick swap games. So if you're familiar with lacrosse, the pocket on a lacrosse stick is very different between the men's and women's game. So you'll have mixed teams. You'll have games like that. We even have a youth and adult costume game. So if you're really bad at lacrosse and never held a stick, we got just the game for you, because many of us have never even played, and we get out there and have fun.
Yeah. So, Jeff, you mentioned, or Mark mentioned the Blue Star Mothers. Your daughter's in the military. Your dental practice in Canandaigua has supported a lot of veteran and military charities and organizations. So this kind of fits in with that. It's been a really successful program. As I mentioned, nationwide. The event's in Canandaigua, but there's events nationwide, Shootout for Soldiers. So this is ours here in the Finger Lakes coming up at the end of July. But just talk a little bit about why this cause is something near and dear to your heart.
Well, being a longtime dentist in Canandaigua, born and raised there, and went to Canandaigua Academy. And so when my daughter enlisted in the Army, my wife became a Blue Star mother, and we went and joined the local chapter, which is one of the oldest Blue Star chapters in the country. They actually serve meals to the veterans. They do everything they can to help the veterans, especially those just coming back. They also send things overseas. They do Christmas trees for veterans that are deployed, and anything they need, they'll try to help with. So they had a table set up for the first Shootout for Soldier games. So my wife and I went and sat at it and enjoyed the concept, really believed in it, trying to help veterans any way we can. My dad was a Navy boy. My grandfather was Army. I've had numerous cousins and whatnot in the military. So we thought it was really important. So we stuck with it, and we've helped out a lot. And like Mark says, it's not about, I've never played lacrosse in my life. My wife has never played, and she did the costume game 2 years ago. It was pretty hilarious to watch, but she enjoyed every minute of it, so it's a good thing to do. We've raised quite a bit of money for Blue Star Mothers. They were very appreciative of it, and it's something that helps, and we go up and watch the honor flights come in, which is even more amazing to see.
Yeah.
These World War II veterans in their 90s just start crying watching us come in.
Yeah, that definitely is some pretty powerful stuff. The honor flight, from the greatest generation, being honored late in their life like that, it is definitely something special. So, we say this is to support veterans. So specifically, the funds raised will go to organizations like Blue Star Mothers. Like, how do you decide?
So we as a committee decide on our two local chapter or two local charities we want to do. We've done them. We've done Blue Star Mothers, I think, from the beginning is how I got involved in it. But we've done the honor flight the last couple of years, and that's been really nice because they invite us up to the landings. The other thing is that a portion of what we raise does go to the national chapter. Right. Shootout for Soldiers is a national chapter. The interesting thing was the cities that we have. There's Long Island has a competition, Baltimore,
Virginia has one.
Ohio.
That's after us. Ohio was prior to us.
Well, these are they're in big cities.
Yeah,
and we're actually the second ranked.
Here in Canandaigua.
Yep. We can't quite catch Long Island, but they also draw from many millions of people down the New York.
Those are all lacrosse hubs too. It's kind of interesting. Baltimore, the Final Four is usually for men's lacrosse is usually held down there, Division I, and Long Island known for lacrosse, and here in the Finger Lakes, it's been around forever. Where other parts of the country are just starting to maybe get exposed to it. So it's a pretty cool event. But like you mentioned, it's not only about the lacrosse. It's more of a carnival or a festival, a 24-hour, overnight deal with a lot. You mentioned 3 fields.
Yep.
So potentially you could have 6 teams every hour, playing on 3 different fields.
Yeah, that's correct. Last year we had a really busy, I think it was a 4 o'clock time slot where we had a team in the box, an all-goalie game at that time. We had one of our major sponsors on the main field, and we had Greater Buffalo Adaptive Sports playing a wheelchair game in the field house. And this was during rain, but, rain or shine, we're still playing. We're getting soaked and trying to keep dry, but we're going through the night and through the weather. So, that's a perfect example of, if you have a team, we'll find you a spot, we'll get you a field, we'll get you out there.
So speaking of, if you do have a team and you want to play and you're not signed up yet, like what's the process?
So if you go to shootoutforsoldiers.com, you can select the event page. You would select Canandaigua. There is a team registration that basically just starts the team. That's $100 there to create a team. After that, you have your players register, and for $50, they get a game jersey and the chance to play and a fundraising page. From there, they can share that page on social media, and that allows you to raise more funds
individually.
Okay. Right. And the nice thing about the fundraising part, we have a fun little competition locally. The biggest fundraising team, we have like a wrestling style championship belt. So the highest fundraising team gets to do a photo op. They can run around the field, take videos, share it out on social media of the championship fundraising belt.
And that's a cool, wrinkle. And
Smack talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you also mention the Greater Buffalo Adaptive Lacrosse Team. Now, there is a lot of variety of types of games and teams that come to this event, but this one's definitely special and fun to watch. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about the Greater Buffalo Adaptive Lacrosse Team?
Yeah, Greater Buffalo Adaptive Sports was originally founded by Norm Page. It started out as sled hockey, and it has evolved tremendously over the years, so they've started incorporating other sports, and I think their second sport was lacrosse. Norm's son Adam is on a lot of the teams. He's on the lacrosse team. Now Adam is a Paralympic gold medalist in sled hockey. So it's really cool to have someone there representing a different version of the game that, you know, they'll usually have extra chairs there, and you can even give it a try and see how challenging it is to play that sport in the wheelchair. But it's really fun to watch. We had Eric Minio is the executive director for Shootout for Soldiers, and he was also FOGO, a face-off guy for Army West Point lacrosse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he got out there, and he had no idea that Adam was out there, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? You're an Olympic gold medalist?" And, you know, he was like, it was a crazy experience to be out there with those guys, experience the game in a completely different way.
Well, it's as you mentioned, July 27th and 28th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday, so it starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday, ends at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and in between there's all sorts of things going on. In addition to the lacrosse games, the unique types of games that you can watch or participate in, there's carnival atmosphere, there's vendors, veteran businesses. Tell us a little bit about the atmosphere surrounding the lacrosse.
I will. One of the things I enjoy about it is the fact that people can come who really don't play lacrosse, don't want to play lacrosse, but really want to help the veterans any way they can. One thing we started 3 years ago, I believe, was a flag relay, Old Glory relay. And what it is that we play in the, there's a track around the field, main field, that we run the flag, someone carries for a full hour. You can sign up and you know, you pay to sign up, but you can walk or run the flag around the game for a full hour. And we have people do that, and we keep that up for the whole 24 hours.
24 hours straight.
Yep. And we have people who fill in even if they've done it a number of times. We had one gentleman, he did it, I don't know, about 12 times. He was out there so much with friends and whatnot. So people can sign up and do that. We have a cake booth. You know, people can win a cake, and we have a bunch of people who bring stuff for that. There's just a lot going on. The vendors, a lot of them are veteran-owned companies that come in. We have raffle drawings. I think, I don't know about last year, but the year before made almost $12,000 just in raffle money. So there's a lot of baskets and things that people can raffle for. You know, there's food trucks there, so people can eat and come down and eat. But the big thing we always like people to come for is our grand opening ceremony, which is at 6 p.m. on Saturday. And we have, we try to have motorcycles come in. We have bagpipers. We bring the veterans down. We will have some, we do have a honor or Quilts of Valor presentation going on the field. Whiskey 7 from Geneseo will be doing a flyover. And so it's a really impressive time. Every game starts with the national anthem. So we have people who come and sing for that. Anybody can come down and say, hey, I just want to go sing the national anthem for one. They can come down, sing, and leave if they want. We have a lot of that going on. So there's a lot of other stuff that goes on that people can have fun. And we want the community to come down just to see what we're doing, meet
No admission, right?
No admission fee. Please bring your money, but
Yeah,
no
right.
admission fee. The more we raise, the more goes to veterans. The committee is not paid. There's no, everything we do is volunteer. A lot of the vendors, we don't require them to pay to set up a spot, and a lot of them donate a lot of money for that. So it's really cool to see what they do. And Jack's Kitchen over in Shortsville stayed the whole 24 hours. He was there for breakfast. He was there for dinners.
Breakfast the next morning.
Yep, he was ready to go. So it's really nice to have those guys out there doing that.
What's the scene like at 3 a.m., on Saturday? Like, obviously, there's probably busier times than other, but who are the teams that are playing at 4 a.m. and 3 a.m.?
Sometimes we don't have anyone. Sometimes we can't get people to play at that time. If they do, it's usually some of the diehards.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition. Victor Canandaigua game's really tough if they come. We've had some other alumni type games that get tough.
Yeah, you also have like pickup games. So as long as you register, you're covered by the waiver. So that's the big thing there, and you can play in as many games as you want. So
Right.
if you have an older team, advanced in their experience level, we'll say, they're looking for somebody, a midi, to run up and down the field. So they're always recruiting people.
Sure.
And if there's a field that's open, people can hop on that field and just play.
Right.
I know a couple years ago we had the Rochester Bats and some people from Rock E6, which is the city's lacrosse program, Rochester City. They were just playing pickup games in the box and just having a blast. It was like from 12 to almost 2 a.m. And, it's just for fun. Like they're running down and shooting behind the back, between the legs, just, pickup ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a lacrosse player or fan or a parent of a high school lacrosse player or whatever it is, this is a great way for the lacrosse community across all of the Finger Lakes and upstate to kind of come together for an event and have fun while supporting a good cause.
Yep. And, you can always reach out to us on social media. That's kind of big for us. So
How can they find you on social?
So on Facebook, search for Shootout for Soldiers Canandaigua. Will come up. I believe our Instagram is SFS Lacrosse CA. But all of our stuff is kind of linked together.
Yeah.
Once you find us in one place, you'll find us all over the place.
Yeah, and probably the easiest place, shootoutforsoldiers.com, which is the national website. You can go to events and click on Canandaigua, or go to canandaigua.shootoutforsoldiers.com. It'll take you right there. Once you're there, you can register a team. You can volunteer. You can learn more about the event. And it's, like I say, today's July 3rd, so we're coming up about a little over 3 weeks away from this year's event. And there is room for more teams to sign up. There's always room. You never really fill up. If people want to register to play, they're going to be able to.
Yeah, if you show up that day and see that people are having fun out there and you just can't, you have to get out there, we'll get you out there.
All right. That's Shootout for Soldiers, July 27th and 28th. 24-hour event starting 10 a.m. Saturday to 10 a.m. Sunday. Register your team at shootoutforsoldiers.com. Go to events, click on Canandaigua. If you want to just attend, show up, enjoy everything that's going on. And if you want to volunteer, you can also find information on shootoutforsoldiers.com. A great event that's been successful, a great group, it's a national group that organizes this, and hey, we want to overtake Long Island this year as the most successful event. So here in the Finger Lakes, so appreciate everything you guys are doing for this great cause, and it's July 4th weekend this weekend. Do you have any special plans? Anything fun going on?
Being thankful that I'm a free nation that we live in, thanks to those who sacrifice, and just enjoying the good weather we're going to have, and thankful that we have the ability to do that.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of veterans to thank for that, and looks like it should be a great summer weather around here this weekend too. Hopefully we dodge some showers. Anything special for the holiday weekend planned?
Same thing, just family, friends, and celebrating, the 4th, our Independence Day.
Yeah, which is tomorrow. And that's a weird, Friday technically not a holiday. Some businesses are on, some are off. Banks, I think, are open. So it's, but I think most people are heading home from work today, and they're taking the 5 days off. And then for myself, my daughter, we have to take her down to orientation for college at James Madison, leaving Sunday for a couple days. So I'm going to be off for a little while here. But I don't know if we'll be back next week. If we got a book, we got anybody scheduled for next Wednesday, Paul?
I don't think anything official.
All right, well, we'll work on that. But appreciate you guys taking the time to come in and for your support of this great event.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that you guys get this out there, get the word out there. We're really looking for people to come down. The exhibition field's a great field. Canandaigua just redid it a number of years ago. It's been fantastic to play on and be on. So come on out, enjoy the fun any way you want to. We have a great time.
All right. Well, appreciate it. Have a great holiday weekend, and thanks everyone for joining us today. If you enjoyed the show, click like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back next Wednesday. Until then, have a great Independence Day weekend right here in the Finger Lakes.